Hello there, Frantic Noise here. This is another clip from my 5-hour webinar exclusively on the virus TI. There might be some annoying feedbacks from my students in the meeting, but I apologize for that in advance. I hope you guys enjoy the video anyways. And remember that all these presets, all these virus TI presets can be loaded into the Viper VST. I will leave a link to that in the video description if you get the newest version 1.0 and forward. Okay, enough of me talking, let's go into the video. So yeah, let's go and reset this synthesizer load, personal init patch somewhere. In these banks there is some init presets. In the end, there's always in the factory banks.
Okay.
Presets. Yeah, I just saw one. The more preset you load, the slower it gets.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. I'll check it out later.
So let's start with the oscillators and simple sounds that we can make with the oscillators and the envelopes. The envelopes, for some reason, the actual amp envelope is in the filter tab, not in the oscillator tab. Most important thing about this synthesizer is the sound itself. That you won't be able to get this such purity, such access virus purity on any other synthesizer rather than this. I mean, you can get it with the classics, the B and the C and all those, the red ones, the old ones. But this one still has that bubbly FM sound that you get when when you sync these two oscillators. So this I think is the most important thing to value from this synthesizer, since filters and the FM itself. I'm gonna balance the oscillators to the right, sorry, so we get only this one, and we get the modulation provided by this guy as FM. We can try some other shapes to get a bit more juiciness. I'm gonna use waves so we can take advantage of the wave. Otherwise, this will basically do a triangle type of FM. Doesn't matter what we put on this side, it will be the triangle FM. But we can vary it and use the waves provided. This is not wavetable modulation, it's a classic oscillator, it's just that it has some tables. That sound. What I like. This sound we're gonna switch it back to 1/16 because we might take some advantage of that. So second sound is gonna be an lead. So in order to do the same thing that we were doing with Vital and the Serum, we will assign one sample and hold LFO to 1/16, and we're gonna use this guy for rhythm modulation only. So we're gonna select LFO1 unipolar. We just want to go one side. We don't want we're gonna modulate decay or sustain. So they are in the lowest point possible right now. We don't want them to go lower than that. It won't make any sense. So yeah, we're gonna go oscillator 1 or envelope decay, for example. And we're gonna dial it in until we get the proper, just the right amount of modulation, right? We don't want it to go really. I mean, the envelopes are made for slower music as well. No, they're made for 60 BPM music, so the range is big. We don't, since we're making 170, we don't want to go that far away or that high, anyways. We could combo this with some sustained modulation as well. This will make it more present. Or what I like to do as well is have another LFO for only for release modulation. So we're gonna put LFO2 unipolar for amp release. This could be a slower sample and hold. You know what a sample and hold shape is?
No.
the basic shapes you can use for oscillators are always these first four, no? The sine, saw, the triangle, and the square.
Square, okay.
Yeah, but in terms of LFO, which is a low frequency oscillator, is an oscillator that we use for modulation only and not for listening. We can use these other shapes, sample and hold, and SNG, which is same. It's a random shape, but with rounded edges, so it's in the end it's rounded random basically. So let's say this is hard square random, sample and hold. The hold, it tells you that it samples a value and then it holds it. Sample meaning that it will randomize a value and hold it. And this one will be, I don't know what the G stands for. So actually, it's the first time I see a G, because normally they call this noise. Imagine that the second one is a rounded random, and we can see examples of that easy. Maybe, I mean, if we're gonna talk about synthesis, I think I'm gonna use Vital because it's way more graphic.
Yeah, sure.
How
to understand synthesis, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much easier. Going back to this guy allows you to to make LFO1, LFO2, and LFO3 mono if you wanted to. And what this means is that instead of having both positive and negative shapes, it has only one, and it goes only one direction.
Okay.
Basically, it's saying that this and all these modulations that come after this are going to be unipolar, right? I don't think that's the most cleanest way to go about this. I think it's better to have it in bipolar mode and select here which ones you want to be unipolar or bipolar, like we've been doing. So we're going to select LFO3, bipolar maybe, yeah. And we're going to send it to the the filter cutoff, filter 2 cutoff, which is this, because I want the LFO2 to move this around a little bit. I have to add the modulation, otherwise it's not going to do anything. And another modulation that we might find interesting is the release modulation, maybe. The amp release modulation, because this will open the sound a lot and it will merge the notes, right? They would have, instead of having just
like a chorus effect.
Like a chorus effect, like a delay or a reverb effect in a way, because each note is going to be much longer than it was supposed to be. Right?
So we can randomize that as well, right? Then note length.
Can automate that, sure. But what I'm trying to do is a preset that is that it has that expression already.
Okay, got it.
When you have a preset that has that movement, the next time you load it into a different track, the preset itself would give you ideas that you might welcome, in terms of like you were thinking about the sound, but then you put the sound and it also provides you with some rhythmical ideas, not only with the sound. I think that has value as well. You can, I don't know. And also it's a way to use this other LFO that we are not using. We can put it to use. So let's add some release. Amp. And I'm gonna try to get these oscillators make a bit more noise. FM amount maybe. Some noise. This is just basically a noise oscillator that's just adding noise.
Okay.